And here we go. So I haven't reviewed a WWE game since SVR 2011, the last SmackDown vs. Raw. Wait, that's not true, I reviewed WWE All-Stars. But never mind that game. In fact, the last WWE game that I've played was WWE 13, and I played WWE 2K16 for exactly 2 hours and stopped because it was such utter garbage. But I've decided to pick up WWE 2K18, mostly because I was bombarded with, honestly, pretty cool trailers on the WWE Network for months. So, how is this game? In a word, infuriating. So, let's break this down. Oh look, if you pre-order this game, you get to play as Kurt Angle. You know, that guy who should be in every wrestling game from now until the end of time. What is wrong with you? Oh, and if you pre-order the deluxe edition, you get to play 3 days early. I mean, that's only what? $10 per day. Ah yes, don't try this at home or anywhere. Ever. That is, unless, in fact, you are a professional wrestler, in which case, please carry on. So I boot up this game and, actually, the soundtrack is really good. Do I hear Boston? And Joe Walsh? Who was responsible for putting this together, because I know it wasn't anyone at 2K. Okay, that answers my question, thank you. Alright, time to create my superstar. Are you serious right now? You've locked moves. Moves. Oh, well that's okay, because I can just get some more out of crates. You know, I stopped playing TF2 for a reason. Oh, and these crates can be unlocked with 2K's virtual currency, or VC, if you will. The matches give very little VC, even if it's 5 stars, so that means it's back to the farming. It's hard, but honest work. Or, you know, I could just play online and get bashed with a chair for 5 minutes straight, that's always fun. Not only are the moves locked, but so are the clothing items. Clothing! On top of that, I still need to pay for the moves with VC, even once they're unlocked. For once, these games have a large variety when it comes to customization, and it's all hidden behind a paywall. You see, I have a personal motto when it comes to microtransactions gouging my gaming experience, as noted here in my review of Dead Space 3. Fuck that, and fuck you. Moving on. Now, I could just purchase the accelerator for $5, which would unlock everything and let me set the stats manually. Or, you could just charge me $65 off the bat for a full game, and don't lie to me about giving me a locked product. And look, this isn't me being entitled. I've been playing wrestling games since 2002. In those games, I could just create a character, give them whatever moves I wanted, and set their stats to whatever I deemed fit. But no. You poor starving startups over at 2K need the money so badly that you've charged me $59.99 for a lock and expect me to shell out another $5 for the key. Blow me. Okay, so as it turns out, cosmetic items and moves are only locked for your character if you made that character specifically for My Career or the online mode. So, if you want to play the game casually, you can make your character however you want. This is doubly stupid because if everything is unlocked outside of My Career mode, then why on earth would I even bother playing that? But hey, let's get to the career mode. Oh, I start at level 50, do I? Well, that sure is fair. Look, it's not like I think I should start at 100, but give me something to work with here. Now, it's not just that I start at 50, but gaining attribute points to level up is like pulling teeth, and even when I do get an attribute point, I still need to spend VC to level up anyway. 2K, why do you hate my fun? The career mode in and of itself is, I don't know, it's something. There is a plot revolving around your character trying to get himself over despite the authority keeping him down, but whatever. A cool addition to this year's wrestling game is the ability to wander around backstage. Here you can talk to other wrestlers, perform interviews, and even get into backstage brawls. While I always thought this was cool, unfortunately there's not really much to do. The brawls and interviews are predetermined, and the dialogue from the wrestlers is, I'm starving. I'm gonna eat like 20 pumpkins. 20 pumpkins. Hey, have you seen Vince? I need to talk to him real quick. Oh, well that's, yeah, am I gonna respond, or nope, okay. Also, the characters' reactions to the dialogue make little to no sense. Between you and me, I think I'm doing a better job than Shane, don't you agree? Yeah, well, fuck you. Vince told me not to let anyone back there, so you're gonna have to turn around. Oh yeah? Then who the hell is that? What's worse is the tedium of the events. Talk to Todd Mullen, have your match or do your promo, go to your car, etc., etc., etc. Even worse is that while moving around backstage, the frame rate occasionally goes straight to hell, which makes going back and forth even longer. Oh, but you know what takes really long? The loading screens. I am going to speak slowly and deliberately. I am willing to bet that by the time I finish this paragraph, this loading screen still won't have finished. I'm not even timing this. I just know how excruciatingly painful the loading screens are in this game. Time's up. As previously mentioned, you can perform promos in career mode. Honestly, I really like this addition, and it adds another level of fun and challenge. Not to mention, it helps you flesh out your character. It's just a shame that there is absolutely no voice acting outside of the ringside commentators. I am dead serious. They went out of their way to give the players so much dialogue, and you just get to sit back and read it all because the text is there, but the players' mouths just go. So, now for the reviewing. In all honesty, the graphics in this game are very well done. The entrances are just gorgeous, and they really went out of their way to make the characters match their real-life counterparts. Well, mostly. Although for some reason, and after all these years, they still haven't figured out beards, or hair, or clothing, or belts. The gameplay is decent enough, that is if you're playing as an already established wrestler. I'm not a huge fan of this circular pin system, but I can stomach it. However, the submission system that they've been using over the past few years is absolute garbage and I hate it. Which is why I'm very happy to report that this game has added a system in which you tap the buttons on screen if you so choose. WWE 2K18 boasts the largest roster of any wrestling game, and from what I've seen that does seem to be the case. Along with wrestlers from the main roster, there are also people from NXT and 205 Live. Although strangely, they don't seem to acknowledge 205 aside from the stage select. So it's just like real life then. However, I have a massive problem with the selection. In previous wrestling games, and hell, any fighting game, you get to pick a wrestler by selecting their picture. This makes selection much faster and allows you to see the wrestler in question before selecting them if you aren't 100% familiar with who they are. Does this game do that? Nope! You get a drop-down menu that you get to scroll alphabetically. Even better, you get to scroll through the DLC characters whether you bought them or not. I don't even get this. There is literally no conceivable reason that 2K would do this. It only makes life harder for the player, and maybe was easier to code in. Wait a minute. Finn Balor is 2 characters? Oh, it's just a palette swap. Wait, no it isn't. Finn is 88, and Demon Finn is 92. Well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, you know how they're clearly 2 different people. So, do I recommend this game? Not really. I mean, if you just want to play the game as the main roster and have fun with your friends, then I see little harm there. But as someone who had the most fun creating characters, completing the career mode, and forming my own storylines in GM mode, This game just ruined my fun entirely. Plus, with the atrocious frame rate and lag, this is just another example of a series that needs to stop releasing a new game every single year and focus on quality control. But with these insulting microtransactions, this just isn't a series that I can see myself playing again anytime soon. So I guess what I'm saying is, 2K, you just made the list!